This is the Getting Into Alignment podcast. Here we play in the quantum world of possibilities. If you desire it, you get to have it. My name is Alexa Ray Smith. I'm a business coach and spiritual teacher for women in business. I'm here to help you unlock your personal power and tap into your magnetism so that you can manifest the most incredible life for yourself and build the business of your dreams. These episodes will help you plug into the energy of infinite potentiality and teach you the tools you need to play in this world where limitations don't exist. On this podcast, I'll be talking to you about energetics, mindset, embodiment, spirituality, money, and business. Everything that you want is on the other side of you getting into alignment. Do you want to have the freedom to design your own life? Are you ready to know that you have the power to create any reality that you desire? If so, Alchemy of Manifestation, my manifestation community, is designed to help you manifest anything that you've ever desired. Within this year-long membership, you will learn proven techniques to gain the abundance, success, and happiness that you've always desired. You're going to learn to tap into the power of the universe so that you can alchemize any reality that you've ever wanted. Not only will you learn to manifest your new reality, you'll also learn how to build a new identity so that you become the person who effortlessly, energetically aligns with all of their desires. So if you're completely ready to transform your life and unlock your full potential, then join Alchemy of Manifestation today, and you can start manifesting everything you've ever desired. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Getting Into Alignment podcast. I'm your host, Alexa, and today we are on day 6 of the 30 Days of Manifestation podcast. Each day I am telling you about a topic that I see people struggling with manifestation, and these conversations are to really help emphasize some areas that you may need to work on when it comes to manifestation. I find that there's still so many surface level manifestation teachings out there, and we really have to get into the depth in order to truly become conscious human beings and to be living and manifesting our best lives possible. So today's topic is a good one. This one, if you are on TikTok, blew up this past year and I absolutely loved it. But I want to have a more in-depth conversation with you because the majority of the time these are like 3-minute long TikToks. So we are talking about being delusional. Now, there's so many people that have a lot to say on this. It really did become a trending topic along with like lucky girl syndrome. And I do think they both go hand in hand. And the thing that is so powerful about both of these things is that, as you've heard me talk about over and over and over again, the only moment that exists is this present moment. So the things that you are telling yourself in this present moment are actually creating your future moments. So what we've been trained to do in society is to continue to speak about things as they have been. So if you don't have a lot of money in your bank account, you're talking about the lack of money. If you don't like the job that you're working in, you're talking about the job that you hate. If you don't like the car that you're currently driving, you're talking and complaining about that car. We're always talking about the past or what was just our reality. And we're always just reaffirming it through the thoughts that we're thinking and then the words that we're saying out loud. And what's so powerful is when you can start telling yourself a different story when your reality hasn't changed yet. This is really like, this is the magic right here. So many people look at people who have manifested all of the things, and they're like, oh, but it's so easy for you because you have the money, you have the following, you have the successful business, whatever, insert like whatever it is right there. But it's like, yes, and if this is somebody that had a rags to riches story, how did they get there? And I truly believe that this is the majority of that. It was that they were able to start telling themselves a different story and start showing up and feeling into that story now, instead of to continue to keep telling the same stories over and over again. So if you're just starting out in your business and you're not that confident and you haven't really sold that many things and you haven't really made that much business yet, if you continue to keep saying, yeah, I'm not really making that much money and I'm not really that confident and I don't really know if my programs are going to sell, and so, yeah, I'm not really sure about it, then what's going to happen is your programs aren't really going to sell. Your business isn't going to be making that much money. And you're not going to feel that confident in your business because your products aren't selling and you're not making that much money. So, what ends up happening is we end up creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that is when we tell ourselves a story until it is our reality. This is the power and the magic of abracadabra, speaking your world into existence. Can you start telling yourself a story about your business, about how your business is gaining clients every day, about how you make money every single day and every single night in your sleep, how clients are coming out of seemingly nowhere signing up to work with you, that your programs are selling off the shelves, off the virtual shelves if it's a virtual product? Can you start telling yourself and other people a reality that you want to have when it doesn't exist yet? And that is why the term being delusional started trending, because you're telling yourself the reality that you want until it is created. When so many other people continue to talk about their existence as it has been forever, and then they wonder why it's never changed. Because they've never changed their thoughts. They've never changed the words that they're speaking about. They've never actually changed how they're speaking about their life. It's so funny because there's this one Abraham Hicks lecture where somebody's asking about $100,000 and how they can manifest $100,000. And one of the things that she says, she's like, well, are you having conversations with your husband about the $100,000? And she's like, no. It's like, okay, well, that's a place to start, right? Because if you're trying to, and this is what you're going to hear me say a lot of, and this is something that if you're in private mentorship with me, this will be a conversation that we have a lot. If you follow me on Instagram, this is a conversation that I have a lot. You start normalizing what you're talking about. You start normalizing your desires. You start normalizing the things that you actually want to have in your life. That's why in the coaching industry and in the mentorship world, when you start working with a mentor who is a multimillionaire, you quickly start becoming a multimillionaire because you start normalizing that much money as a standard in your reality. When most people will keep themselves separate from that amount of money forever because they won't even let themselves play or entertain in the delusion or in the reality where they get to have everything that they desire. And what's so funny about it is it's only delusional for a short period of time, because that delusion becomes reality. Because when delusion is backed with belief and it's backed with energetics and it's backed with action, it's going to fucking manifest, y'all. Because what happens is you start becoming consciously aware of the thoughts that you're thinking. And when you start thinking a thought that subscribes to your old reality, you're like, no, we're not going there anymore. And you start moving your thoughts and your beliefs and shifting your neural pathway towards what you desire. So instead of, if we go back to that business scenario, if you're like new in business, you haven't made that much money, you don't have that many followers, you haven't sold that many programs, services or whatever, if you keep telling yourself and telling everyone else that your business isn't making that much money, if you don't have that many clients, if products, programs aren't selling, then that's what's going to keep happening. And you're going to stay in the energetics of it's not really working out. I'm not really expecting to make that much. This is what it is. When you are aware that that's the current reality and you're deciding that your reality gets to be different, then regardless of the amount of sales, then regardless of the amount of clients, regardless of what your business looks like right now, you intentionally decide to start thinking thoughts about how successful your business is. Every time you think about your business, you start saying, my business is booming. I have clients signing up to work with me every single day. I make money every single day. I get paid to exist. Money is always available to me. I am so grateful for all of the clients coming into my world. I'm so grateful for all the products I just sold. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I just sold another program. Oh my God, another person just signed up. Oh my God, someone else just reached out to work with me. Oh my God, my business is getting better and better and better. And now the thing is, yes, that is kind of delusional from here's the thing, right? Delusional from a matrix point of view. Delusional because you're telling yourself something that you don't have yet. And now where the matrix says that's delusion is they don't understand the power of your intentionality, your thoughts, your energy, and your actions, especially when they are put together in alignment towards what you desire to have. And so people in the matrix are like, you're fucking crazy because you're saying things that aren't real, and they don't believe that you can actually shift and alchemize the world like that because they don't play in energetics. And because they don't play there and they don't believe in it, it won't be real for them, right? Because your beliefs are creating your reality. So what happens is you start consciously telling yourself a story of what you want to believe, what you want to be real. And of course, at first your brain's going to be like, well, that's not true. And it's like, okay, it hasn't been true thus far, but I'm deciding this is who I get to be. I'm deciding that this is what I want to have for myself. I'm deciding that this is a new standard for me. I'm deciding that I am a 7-figure entrepreneur. I'm deciding that this is who I am. So when you show up in that, and we're just going to stay for this podcast episode, staying with the idea of a business, like a business owner. So when you start telling yourself that your business is booming, that clients are coming in, and that programs are selling, and whatever the case may be, you're now raising your frequency, raising your vibration, and you're now giving your subconscious mind direct commands to find examples of and to start looking for evidence that your business is successful, that your business is booming, that clients are messaging you all the time. And because you're starting to feel into that, you're starting to get excited about it, you start visualizing, seeing the payment notifications, seeing the messages from clients, seeing the money in the bank account. You start feeling wealthy, you start feeling successful, you start feeling excited, which energizes you to create more in your business, to show up more, to do things possibly differently, to be in love with your business, to feel back in flow instead of putting all of this pressure on it. And because you're telling yourself all of these things that align with success, with wealth, and then you're feeling into it, and that's where you're allowing yourself to focus, that's what's going to manifest. So it's literally only delusional until it shows up. So to me, I would much rather look delusional and look a little crazy to somebody on the outside who doesn't understand the realm that I'm playing in anyway. So if we're being fully honest, I'll always look a little crazy to them. So I don't even care. Then I get to play in the realm of being delusional, knowing that this is a temporary delusion because I'm choosing to believe in it. I'm choosing that this is my new reality, and I'm subscribing to it, and I'm setting this as a new standard. And every time my old story and my old reality tries to show me differently, I'm not giving any energy, attention, or focus to it because I'm consciously deciding how the world gets to go for me now. I'm consciously deciding how business gets to go for me now. And whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, right? Whether it's money, love, success, a new car, like any of the things, you have to start telling yourself that the car is coming soon, that you already have a car picked out, that you're driving an amazing car, that you have the love of your life, that you're going on the date with the love of your life, that you're so excited because you are so in love with all of the people that you're meeting and you're having the most amazing conversations, and that of course you're about to meet the love of your life. Like you've never been more prepared. When you start telling yourself and start getting into these really good vibrational feelings, Abraham Hicks calls it a rampage. When you start rampaging about the things that you want, that's when you start manifesting them. And who says that we can only say and talk about things in our life as are currently showing us or as they've previously been? Who says? Why can't we start deciding now how we want our reality to go and speak it into existence until it shows up? And not just speak it into existence like we're lying to ourselves, but actually believing in it. Can you actually decide that you are going to be a different version of yourself, that you are going to be successful, that you are going to be in the relationship, that you are going to manifest whatever the X, Y, and Z things are that you want to have? When you start playing into this realm of delusion where you're like, yeah, like I am a 7-figure business owner, when you keep telling yourself that over and over again and you keep feeling into it, then you're going to start moving like a 7-figure business owner, right? Like if you were a 7-figure business owner, what would you be doing? You'd be showing up confidently in your business. You'd be creating offers. You'd be selling products. You would be inviting people into your world. You'd be selling every single day. You would be coming up with new revenue streams. You would be putting your money into a diversified portfolio. There's so many things that you would be doing that would be in alignment with this new story. And when we start just doing things when we don't feel like we're there, that's when we start moving with lack and start creating lack. The energy that you do something in is the energy that it actually creates the result in. So when you're doing something and you're like, of course this is going to sell out, of course this is going to be a $10,000 launch or a $100,000 launch, of course this product is going to make me a millionaire, of course this is going to do better than I ever expected, of course this podcast is going to reach 1 million people, of course I'm going to be globally recognized, of course. When you start playing and telling yourself the stories that you would be telling yourself if you had the things, that's how you get the things. You have to be there energetically and mentally before you're gonna ever be there physically. Like that's literally the beautiful paradox of manifestation. We're manifesting to get a thing, but in order to get the thing, we have to become the person who has the thing before the thing shows up. And this is what so many people, including myself, y'all, like I am not throwing shade at anyone. I struggled for a long time with this because it was like, what do you mean? How can I look at my negative bank account and tell myself that the money's on the way? How can I tell myself that money's always available to me? And it's like, okay. But when I looked at the negative bank account and I looked at all of the stories that I was telling myself about the negative bank account, that was getting me the negative bank account. So I have to do something differently, right? Like, so it has to be, you have to regulate yourself around the money. It can't be a problem that there's a negative bank account because you know that you yourself are an infinite ATM. You are the universe. So if you want more money, you are more money. You just need to produce it because that is part of you being a co-creator. But we give our energy away. We give our power away. We totally drop any ambition or any of our imaginations or any of our desires when we look and we see that negative bank account. What if the negative bank account didn't have any fucking power over you? And what if you just decided that you were someone that was wealthy no matter what? And you started feeling and vibrating with that and working on your money mindset until the money showed up. The things about manifestation are mostly energetic and mostly mental. But these are the two things that honestly aren't the easiest to do. It takes a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of dedication. Every time your mind goes to lack, you have to move it towards abundance. Every time your mind goes towards what you don't want to have, what you're not excited about in your life, you have to move it in a different way. You have to constantly be finding the silver lining and telling yourself a better narrative about what's going on. This is how you stop playing into problem frequency. This is how you stop creating the same reality over and over again. If you keep speaking about your reality as it is, it will always be this same reality, and you'll get so sick and tired of telling the same damn story over and over again. These are the people that you see in your life, and every time you see them, like, they tell you the same story, and you're like, oh my God, like, get a new story. I already heard this one. Because they never change. They never challenge themselves to have a consciousness level higher than their reality dictated. They never challenge themselves to start talking about things as they wanted them to and allowing them to manifest. When it's so funny, because if you look at people that are famous musicians or famous professional basketball players or baseball players or movie stars, those people typically started saying that they would be famous like 10 years before that. It wasn't that this surprised them. This was something that they consciously decided to create, and they showed up as that version of themselves, and they moved like that version of themselves. They created the music. They went on the movie auditions. They told people in their lives how they wanted their lives to go and the things that they were going to create, even when it looked fucking crazy to everyone around them. Even when they were creating music in their basement and they were working a 9 to 5 during the day to pay the bills. Even when they were going on movie audition after movie audition and it looked like it wasn't working, it looked like they weren't getting anywhere. The people that showed up over and over again, look at J.K. Rowling. What was it, 10 or 11 times she was told no and Harry Potter was denied? And now, can you imagine the world without Harry Potter? I truly cannot. It's just the people that said that they were going to do something and then they actually believed it. They believed it was possible. They didn't allow everyone else who operates in the land of no belief. Like, that's what most people live in. They're so jaded that they won't believe in anything and they'll be the first person to shoot down anyone else's belief, because how dare you? How dare you actually believe that it gets to be good? How dare you believe that money gets to come easily? How dare you believe that you get to live like this and have that and that. No, that's not possible. Come back down to reality. Why does reality have to suck? Why does reality have to mean working in a cubicle at a 9 to 5 where we're miserable? Why? Because reality gets to be equally just as amazing. When we see people that are living their best fucking lives ever, both of these options are available to you. They're available to all of us at any time, but it's like, which option are you playing into? Which one are you choosing? If this was a game of life and you were actively moving your character on a board towards the reality that you want, which direction is your character moving in? Because every time you roll the die, every time you move, every action, every word, every thought, every frequency that you feel, it's all you moving either in the reality that you want to create or towards the reality that you don't want. But it's always a conscious choice. You always get to decide. But so many people know that they don't love the life that they're living, and then they just keep talking about it. They just keep thinking about it. They just keep focusing on it instead of realizing that if they talked about it differently, if they focused on it differently, if they felt differently about it, if they started moving differently, things would match them differently. And this is truly, I think, the biggest art and shift of manifestation is you being able to play in that delusion and allowing your manifestations to come to you, even when you have people in your life that are telling you it's not possible, even when it looks like the sales aren't coming in your business, even when it looks like the clients aren't coming, even when it looks like you're doing all of these things and it's not showing up. Can you keep believing, keep speaking, and keep moving and feeling into a frequency and a reality where it is true for you, where you do get to have what you desire, where it is always getting better and better and better. Like playing into the delusion. And even lucky girl syndrome, right? Like this blew up and it's just people telling themselves how lucky they are and then finding evidence of it so that way they can keep reaffirming it. And the thing that's so beautiful about that is luck is one of the easiest things to manipulate. And it's one of the easiest things to really really rewire your mind, because you can easily be like, I'm so lucky. I'm the luckiest girl ever. Lucky things are always happening to me. And then when something good happens to you, you're like, oh my God, I'm so lucky. And that's the thing. Your brain is always looking for evidence. And once it has evidence, it can compound the evidence and build and build and build. But we need to start building evidence of this new reality. And until we haven't built the evidence, if you don't know what I'm going to say now, you haven't listened to me enough. You need to be the evidence until there is evidence. You are the evidence. So be delusional. Tell yourself that everything is working out. Tell yourself the story that you want to be playing out, that you want to be living, that you want to be telling about your life. Because the more you can play into that frequency, the more you can tell yourself that, the more you can do the mindset work so that you're actually believing it, then you're going to easily receive it. Luck is something that you can have if you want to have it. Just like anything else in the world, you can manifest anything easily. And what's so funny is money is the easiest thing to manifest once you understand it. Why? Because once your brain has evidence on how to do it, it can easily collapse the timeline to do it again. So if this is something that you have tried and it hasn't worked, honestly, try practicing lucky girl syndrome, because it's so easy, like I said, for you to find evidence of it. So tell yourself how lucky you are and lucky things are happening to you. And then when good things start happening, acknowledge it throughout the day and be like, oh my God, I'm so lucky. Oh my God, I'm so lucky. Lucky things are always happening to me. And this is going to compound and compound and compound. And while you're doing that, start telling yourself the same thing about the thing that you're trying to manifest, that it is, that you do have it, that it's always working out. Like in the business example, that clients are always coming in, that money's coming in every day, that you make money in your sleep, that money is the easiest thing in the world to manifest, that your business is growing exponentially. If you keep telling yourself and affirming the reality that you want to have, and an affirmation needs to be backed with belief, and it needs to be backed with feeling in order for it to be potent. Otherwise, it will not be potent and it will be ineffective. So you need to actually be feeling it. You need to actually be believing it. You need to believe that it's possible, even if you don't fully believe it just yet. How can you start believing it now? And if you notice that some of the affirmations that you're using are too much, then start saying it in a way, like chunk it down a little bit. Don't go so grandiose with your affirmations, because the idea here is when you can start building evidence, that's what the reticular activating system in your mind loves. And once it can find evidence on something, it can start stacking the evidence and compound it. And that's when you're able to quantum leap, because your mind is like, oh, yeah, she is right. Because your subconscious mind is always making you right. It's always proving you right. So you have to start telling yourself a different story and believing in it in order for your mind to show you evidence of it. So reverse engineer it, start believing differently, and start finding the evidence and showing it to your mind. So that way you're already rewiring your mind while getting into a frequency state of what you desire, and being really excited because you're now feeling into your desired reality instead of reaffirming the shitty reality that you don't want to keep living. And to me, it's just like, duh, why wouldn't we do this? Why wouldn't we? We've just been raised in a society that loves to complain, that loves to bitch, that loves to act super powerless. And you're going to have to clean that shit up in order to start manifesting, which means speaking intentionally, believing intentionally, and thinking intentionally. Whether you're talking in your mind or whether you're just talking to yourself, like That narrative of what you're telling yourself throughout the day is the most important narrative. You need to be paying attention to what's going on in your mind, because that's what is creating your reality. So be delusional. If you're not fully there yet, start practicing lucky girl syndrome, because it is so easy to back that evidence and to start stacking it so that you can manifest your desired reality. And if you're ready to just fully unleash yourself and create the most amazing life for yourself in the next year and manifest your desires and collapse the timeline and quantum leap like whoa into the success, into the happiness, into the love, into all of the things that you desire, material and internal, then join Alchemy of Manifestation, my manifestation membership. It's a beautiful thing because it's a year-long commitment, so you can't actually pull out. You're going to have to actually dedicate an entire year to working on yourself, to healing yourself, to loving yourself, to rewiring your brain, to regulating your nervous system, to recoding your cellular DNA, to really changing your internal world, so that way you can become a master creator of your reality and then easily manifest all of your desires. If you want to join Alchemy of Manifestation, just go right to my website, alexaraysmith.com, and it is the homepage right now, or you can always go to alexaraysmith.com/AOM, and that will always be the website link for AOM directly. All right, I love you guys so much, and I will be back tomorrow for day 7. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you're ready to go deeper and to get into my world, you can go to my website, alexaraysmith.com. You'll find all of my current programs on there. If you're desiring to get mentored by me, then the best thing to do is shoot me a DM on Instagram, and we can talk about mentorship options and which one's the best fit for you. If you're absolutely loving this podcast, please go rate it 5 stars and let me know why you're loving it. This will help me share the podcast with more people. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and until the next episode, keep manifesting the most incredible life.